burning desire that leads to action, a heart full of passion that creates empathy, unmindful of reward, untouched by criticism, an obsession to share gifts bestowed by him. I feel that stigma is and continues to be a problem. COVID 19 has made people talk about it.
The whole idea behind using games for talking about mental health issues was that we need to have a conversation. We need to get people to talk. We need to get people to be involved in this conversation, and we want people to be feeling comfortable. Prior to preparing this whole concept of using games for breaking the silence around mental health, I had explored many other media, which included posters, which included Dastan Goi, which included comics, which included many other media. But somehow, it just clicked to me that games will be the most engaging method.
We keep on organizing many workshops, campaigns, and symposiums on mental health.
Minding the Mind, this book, has 5 parts. The chapter Beyond Four Walls is the one where I have been able to discuss some of the initiatives that were taken with the help of Lady Irwin College.
A project with Vishwas Simbar was unlike any other engagement we had at MyPerch. So this project not only assisted children learning skills like maths, science, and English, but it also educated them about mental health. They become more aware about mental health, and they become more sensitive and empathetic over the process.
These students have taken the part in the community outreach programs organized in the very nearby village, that is Bisrak, and they created awareness among the villagers about mental health.
These children used to laugh at people who are different from them. So this was their initial reaction. But over the time, in this project, I noticed they were not only learning from them, but they were also connecting with them.
When the PMIs from Vishwas visited our institute, then it was an eye-opening experience for my students. They came to know about that how blessed they are and what kind of problems are in society, and which can be handled through the awareness, which can be handled through by being vigilant about it.
Some members acted as a loving adult for children, and in some cases children looked after them and made sure that they are comfortable at our facility. And this friendship grew stronger over the time, and they went on picnics together, they celebrated festivals together. So this whole process, this project was very effective, and it helped members to develop their social skill and confidence, and for me it was the solution beyond the 4 walls, beyond medicines, and this is the kind of such initiative required, wherein we are including them.
These are games that we have grown up playing, like Ludo and Snakes and Ladders, which is very deeply Indian cultural kind of games. The consumer, the community people actually participate while getting knowledge. They're not just sitting and listening to something that's being told to them. So it has a far better chance of absorption and retention, and also paying attention.
Something that provides us entertainment, something that is providing us the fun element, that is generally not associated with something like mental health.
Also equip them to conduct community campaigns using the games, to be able to take the games out in the community, out in the campuses of their colleges or universities, or into the rural areas around Delhi NCR.
So 30 people got trained who went back, and then who were given these games. They were taught how to use them. They were told they were not experts in mental health. So they just to play the game and just to give the message already given in the game. So they don't have to act as an expert in any way. And we don't want to encourage that.
It can impact people and let them have conversations, not just with us, but also around their families and around their friends. using the games and the other tools that we've created.
In public spaces, when you're trying to attract people to come and listen to you, these floor games are really, really helpful. The other thing is that while playing the floor games, you get a lot of insights into mental health and mental health issues. Also, it involves a lot of critical thinking, because in those games, you'll end up speaking about your ideas, your concepts about issues related with mental health.
Dr. Mridula Seth and Dr. Aparna Khanna helped us a lot by creating the mental health awareness games, which in turn students used to learn a lot from them.
It is only when they have built their confidence enough and are ready to share their stories that we provide that opportunity to them. Otherwise, there's no pressure on them. They are just part of the team. They could be distributing the flyers. They could be participating in the awareness session, just like a normal team member.
Organizations like Sambandh have used the games in their community campaigns and have really valued the work. They are supporting the work even today. Organizations like Society for Promotion of Youth and Masses, SPOM, is using many of those materials today and finding them extremely useful. So the future now, as I see with the games, is that the module, a training package is ready under the banner of Campaign for Mental Health.
It was decided that we would train people who are already working in the community, the other NGOs that are working in the community in different sectors, whether it is with children or elderly or with disabilities.
We are now working towards promoting their use across organizations and people and volunteers who would be interested in carrying forward this discussion around mental health.
It's a coming together of people with passion to do something for mental health that has really worked.
But a community mental health program is very open. It keeps providing you opportunities to engage with the community in many, many different ways.
Especially after engaging this project, wherein members from Vishwas Richmond Fellowship Society engage with NGO kids, I think it's time that we look for such innovative solution beyond medicine.
While Dr. Seth brought in, I think 2 or 3 more academic institutions into the team. From my side, from Lady Irwin College Department of Development, Communication and Extension, I decided to work on games particularly.
So people who were earlier reluctant to even talk about mental health, or were even I could sense that stigma to talk about mental health, were easily, because of the games, able to talk about it, were easily able to have a conversation, a dialogue.
We just made about 5 games and got the whole idea rolling. The concept of games was very well appreciated by everyone, including the community, for the public at large for whom we made it.
We had this idea that if we make a very informal setting and an informal group and invite people who are interested to talk about mental health, either their own or somebody else, they just come in.
The whole process helped me to strengthen my own teaching learning process at the department, because understanding communication, understanding issues like mental health, understanding how to communicate about mental health using the value of interpersonal communication, group mobilization, training and capacity building, and to assess the efficacy of the games, using research designs to assess the audience response to these games, all helped me to strengthen various courses that I was taking in the department. So today we have developed these games further into what is called a mental health campaign for mental health toolkit, which comprises of 8 games. It comprises of 8 story scrolls wherein real life case studies have been depicted as comic stories and formatted in the form of comic scrolls. We also have information cubes for each of these topics, and all in all, there is a 4-day training package to equip a person to talk about mental health issues in a community campaign mode.
Lots of people that we work with are engaged in earning their own livelihood, and we support them in different ways. We support them in finding jobs. We support them in being able to sustain their jobs. Because if you look at community mental health, the responsibility then gets divided amongst a lot of stakeholders, starting from family, friends, neighbors, and all the other resources in the community. And if this responsibility is distributed, then the person with mental illness feels a sense of connection.
We are on the brink of a mental health epidemic. There's already a talk about how depression is going to be the second biggest health problem.
Break the silence, and I think it would be a very big achievement if more patients, more people, more families join together.
The social stigma will not impact you so much as, if you're able to deal with your internal stigma. Then you will be facing society with, I would say, with a lot more courage than you would if you also have internal stigma. And people are not asking for charity. People are asking for opportunities, which each one of us can provide if the stigma can be removed. But we need more and more livelihood opportunities for people living with mental illness, because being able to earn is very dignified. It's one of the most important pillars of recovery.
Very often, PMIs have a very poor self-image and self-confidence. And that is very important for any rehab program that we empower people living with mental illness.
As we all know that each and every individual need 3 A's: attention, affection, and appreciation. And absence of any one of them create a kind of emotional disbalance in an individual. And the overwhelming of the emotions such as fear, sadness, stress, anxiety, anger creates a kind of loneliness that creates a disturbance in their personality. And this disturbance will not allow an individual to become an integrated individual or human and an ignited soul. So we all should take a step forward to create an environment in our society of being alert, aware, and mindful.
So one of the things that we can all do, each one of us is capable of doing, is to help remove this stigma.
If you need help, so please don't ignore, ask for it. I understand it's easier said than done, but let us as a society take this responsibility, educate ourselves, educate others, be conscious of our language, be more compassionate towards each other, and just do not alienate mentally ill individual, try to include them.
Let's use any means, any method, any tool, any approach, so long as it is able to give us a connect with them, reach their hearts and minds, and carry forward this conversation on mental health and overcoming stigma, most certainly.
I sincerely urge anybody going through any kind of mental health issue to please reach out and seek professional help, because that is something that is absolutely necessary.
Can we change our attitudes and approaches towards people living with mental illness and their families? Can we start including them in our normal functions, day-to-day celebrations, in our own homes as, fellow human beings, as our relatives, as members of our immediate and extended families, and as members of our society?
We need to take charge. We need to take charge of our minds, of our mental health, just like we take charge of our bodies. When something goes wrong, we should not hesitate. So don't hesitate. If there is a problem, open up, speak to somebody, speak to anybody who would listen to you in a very empathetic manner.
Let's partner. Let's together, continue this conversation around mental health.
May God give you to give. Give, but with humility. Give with grace and dignity. Give with respect for those who take. Sometimes give without people asking you to give. Give with your feet on the ground. Give with the knowledge that you yourself need to be given to give, and thank Him who has given you to give.
I was trying to promote through my documentaries that we need a different approach to promote mental health, because Western culture is for different set of people, and in India we are actually a mixture of people. So we need approaches accordingly. And when I read the book Minding the Mind, I found such initiative that was beyond the four walls.